Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm the SuperF, and yeah, today, as you've read in the title, we're gonna look onto Servertools and, well, what's it about, what you can have, and just go more specific into each and every option. Attention's gonna take a while, but yeah, you can also skip a little bit because I'm gonna from the top to bottom, so yeah, you can just see where my mouse is. And with that, I'm gonna start. Maybe first of all, how to install it. I've already explained in the last episode, but since this is another specific episode, I'm gonna re-say that. So just type in Google Servertools 7 Days to Die. That's it. Click on the first link that you see. Then here is the link to the download. Just click on it. And then it's important that you always use the zip file. Click on it. You can then download it to a folder or anywhere else. Then you will have a zip file. And well, this zip file, I'm just going to show you. Here it is. Server files, exactly, and then mods, zip. You're then gonna have a zip file. Here it is. You're gonna unzip it. Then you will have data in it. Then you will receive a mods folder. This mods folder will contain afterwards, then in Servertools, these 5 files. These 5 files you're gonna then drag and drop into the FileZilla thing, into just where you had it already in mods, then Servertools, just to overwrite it, then drag and drop. Well, actually you have to do it from in here, so you have to find it from the mods. Here it is. Drag these 5 files into here, and always look at the date. It has to be today, your actual date. And yeah, how to really install it and everything else I explained in the last episode, what should be 2 days ago. Alright, so let's now go into the 7 Days to Die Servertools 10.7. Let's see. What I'm gonna need is also Notepad++, because this is how everything is established in 7 Days to Die. And yeah, if actually how to do it. So you just take the folders. So let's go back to FileZilla. You have first of all to stop the server. Then drag them in and then restart the server. Then you have to click here on the refresh thing, and then their files is going to create it itself. So the mod is going to be a Servertools folder with all this. Well, for you, if you are new, it's just maybe how to set up, Servertool phrases, and Servertools config. These 3 or 4 files will be in there, and you have to drag them and put them on your PC. Then you have them like me now, and then you have to open it. So just right click it, then edit with Notepad, then it opens it like here. The first thing you're gonna need is how to set up. Well, the first 2 things, how to set up and Servertools config, because this is something that we're gonna now look at. And how to set up is the explanation for everything, but why should I have this in mind? Alright, so now you know how to install it, and also what the first things should be. Now let's look actually at the mod itself. Here's over the version, important, so you can see that it actually updated. If it didn't, then try to redo it a few times, and if it doesn't work, then ask just the admin. So you actually have to go back, then go to Servertools, update it to 5.5. You can already see it. I click to it, and here's OC. He's the actual one that programs at the moment, and you can go, he has like, you have to search it actually somewhere in here in these pages. There's like a Discord link, and there he's online, and you can ask him, or you just ask, well, below the comments for a link, as you wish. But okay, let's open it. Admin chat commands. Well, not so useful, but let's say there's, for example, @admins. So you type it into the chat, and then only admins will receive that message, and you can customize it. So really commands just for admins, which all admins just them receive, let's say for maybe a message, or for example mute someone, that only admins can mute a player. Then admin list. Players can then type /admin list, and then they can see who's online. So if there is an admin online or not. I don't really like that, to be honest, because I like to be sometimes undercover, like a normal player. This is actually, yeah, you can also do that with this mod. I'm gonna, well, that's actually at the bottom, so I'm not gonna do it right now. As you wish. If you want that your players can always see if someone's online from the admins, as you wish. Then admin name coloring. Do you want that in front of your name is admin and your actual name is red or something like that, and mods are yellow, so that people can see if a admin is writing into the server? Well, then you have to enable this one, and then here's the color. So it's hex code. Just type in Google hex code, and you will see that without the hashtag. That's important. Animal tracking. That's something interesting. If you enable this one, people can like write, here it is written, every 60 minutes /animal or something similar. Then there is an animal that spawns between 20 blocks and 30 blocks far from the player that he can kill. The entities IDs are like, this is like a deer, that's a boar, and that's a bird or something like that. You have to check that out. You can also spawn zombies actually. And then always show response, so if the server says to you something or not. If it's like hi, so from the server side it worked, so there is an animal that was spawned, just, yeah, as a response. Announce invalid item stack. If maybe someone has like 1,000 pickaxes in one slot, then he has to be cheating, he needs to be cheating, and well, that's gonna announce it that something's wrong there, and it's gonna put it into a log or so. Auction. That's interesting. If you are on a chest, then you can like put on the first slot an item or a stack of something, then write /auction, then the price of it, and then it puts this into like hypothetical marketplace, and people can buy it. It's a cool thing. Delay between users is 24 hours, not minutes. Autosave world. Well, it saves the world. It's like these quick saves in games where you type F5, so it's just saved. Yeah. Auto shutdown. So our alternate login. Kick logging during countdown. in a way self-explaining. So auto shutdown is like when it shuts down. So the server, let's say, shuts down each day. There's gonna be then a countdown timer of 2 minutes. So 2 minutes before he shuts down, it's gonna count down that the server is gonna shut down. Then time before shutdown, 60. So this one is either alert on login, or let's just take a look maybe. Alright, set a note to delay before shutdown and countdown timer. Begins a warning of the coming shutdown with a timer based on the countdown timer after the delay before shutdown time has run out. Alright. So yeah, as written, there's also be a warning just 1 hour before it shuts down. Alert on login. In these 60 minutes, if someone logs in, hey, so it like says, hey, it's gonna shut down. Kick logging during countdown, so it's this countdown timer again. So in these 2 minutes, no one can join because it's gonna be kicked out, and no one can like stay there because every player is gonna be kicked out in these 2 minutes. Very useful, because my server has problems if a player stays inside during a restart. In a way, it's broken then, and actually I have to create a new map or just do something very, yeah. Anyway, there's until Horde 7, so it doesn't shut down during a Horde night. Bad word filter. Oh yeah, that's very cool. So you can you receive an XML. When I'm talking about XMLs and so on, it's everything gonna create it in here if you enable it. And then you just have to drag it in here. Then, as I did with these files, just right click on them, open them with Notepad, and then it's in there already explained, so you're gonna see. And also how to set up is always very useful. But okay, auto shutdown. No, bad word filter. So you can maybe, well, bad words, you can write them, and then if the server sees like this especially word, it's gonna delete it. What you also can do is just put the entire Russian alphabet inside this XML, and it's gonna delete everything that is written in Russia. Don't do it with Chinese words because there are like 30,000 different characters. As I don't know how they do it with a keyboard. Anyway. So yeah, these are like, it's a good thing to maintain control in a way. Maybe there's the rule, don't be rude, or should be always a rule. Anyway, bank. That's very cool that I wished actually. It's like you can exchange casino coins to electronic coins. So it's like you would have a credit card in the game, and then you can also pay like in an auction or so. So this is how you pay actually. But the problem is it's a bank, and what does this mean? Well, it's not free in a way. So there's like always 1 or 2 coins each day, or really nothing in a way, that is gonna taken away. Maybe you can also change that, so bank, or is it still with interest maybe? Place casino coin in a chest and type bank deposit hashtag to withdraw the amount player wants from the box and place it in their bank account. So yeah, again, stand on a chest and so on. The wallet is with how much you have, withdraw. Oh yeah, the withdraw thing is like you receive the coins into your inventory and it's gonna take it away from the bank. Great system. I have to say it's a great programmer. OC. Then wallet is how much money you have. Alright. than bike. Well, if your bike is like glitched underground, very often this happens, you can write /bike and it's... Oh wait, no, that's something else. Bike here is that the bike, wherever it is, it's going to be teleported right to you. The delay delays minutes, so every 2 hours I can do that, and the command coast. Oh, great, he implemented that too, that I wished. Nice. So maybe you have to pay 20,000 coins that your bike is going to be teleported to you. It's always, it's so cool that you have so different possibilities. You want to make a server that is, or like these commands and are very cheap maybe, so here does cost nothing, or do you want it really to have maybe also just delay between uses for only once a day? So you can really change this. I actually maybe would do that once a day and then command cost 20,000 coins. But then, on the other hand, it would be unfair to the others that really, to one that really would have lost it, and that's then the hard part being an admin. But let's not get into that, because it's gonna be stressing. Blood Moon. It's just, if you enable it, so it's gonna like show a notification that there's gonna be a blood moon, the blood moon, you know, every 7 days, the blood moon, in total time, total days. It shows on respawn, and then also the delay and days until Horde. Yeah, that's like standard, it's every 7 days. So yeah, as you wish. At least here people would know all the time when blood moon is. Bounties, I'm not really a fan of that. It's like, you know, if you can put money on a head of someone. Like there's a player that you really hate, you can put on him like 50,000 coins, and then it's gonna like display notification. Also people can just look at /bounties or something like that. Who has the highest bounty, or who has bounties. And then there will be actually a manhunt in a way. Yeah, well. Then, chat command response. Well, if it's like you have to enable this one, or no. Actually, you can't, it's always enabled. Just that if you type /, it's public, like if you write /help, no one else is gonna get the message that you made that, only if you use this character here. Mute commands, so it's gonna create the XML, and you can put inside XMLs that are muted. Isn't like that. Alright, so here it is. Turn on mute command, so you can mute players from chat or console. Mute players can still chat if this is false. If you mute a player via chat commands, they are muted for 60 minutes. Okay. That's interesting. That's like in the wrong section. But yeah, always also check how to set up, because that's, look at this. That's quite a lot to remember. So you're gonna take a few weeks, it's gonna take a few weeks. Then chat flow protection, that's true on my server. Because yeah, there are always people that just type in hello, 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 like for 1 hour every second. That's annoying, and this will stop it. Like there's just a total amount of messages that a player can write in a certain time. Certain amount in certain time. Chat logger, that's great. If you now go over here, you can see in chat logs, it's everything gonna created by itself, so you don't have to worry about that. There's gonna be like logs of only the chat. You have to think about that, just the chat. So maybe let's go into the folder again, because there I have a few logs about it. Log, then chat logs. Let's take a look at that. That's me exactly. That's interesting. He just, okay. Anyway, you can see that everything that is only written, so nothing from the server, nothing like other data, so on, just the whole chat from, well, when the server started and when it shut down or restarted, everything is going to be saved. That's just excellent, I have to say. So useful. Oh yeah, here they are. Actually, let's take a look what they wrote. I'm just curious about that. Log, then the chat logs, then go over here and take a look at that. Did it do it or not? It's like, ah, here it is. Where are you? Deutsch, you're back, huh? Hi. Yeah, so, very useful. Clan manager, you want clans. These are like groups. So they're like, let's say 5 players and other 5 players. These are very good friends, these 5 players from, let's say, group 1. Or from city 1 and from city 2, these are the other 5 players that are very good friends with each other, and they would like to be always together and like be in a group. And this is what you can do with a clan. There's like the head of the clan and then the other members. The good thing is there's also a private chat just between clan managers and no one else can listen to it. Great, isn't it? And there's also the chat color. We can make it like to brown or so. Meh. Not really, would be so cool. Credentials. So these are a few other things like bad ID, if the server can't figure out the ID, if it's using a VPN, or no family share. There are people that use just one Steam account, but several PCs, and this would kick them. The Steam family share thing. And yeah, no internal, something else like about the computer, something that it can't figure out using VPN, something similar. I just put it on true because it's in a way something bad, so just away with it. Then custom commands. Oh yeah, let's just take a look at that. Custom commands are so useful. Remember, you can always edit that. You're really free in here. So server files, then server tool, custom chat commands. Let's say here it's already done. Help or graphics or whatever you want. Or let's say you put inside just any command, and then if the people put that command in, it's gonna say something like, let's say here, graphics. Then graphic lags could be a bug. Set your graphics card to default. That's not really useful, to be honest. Anyway, or donation. Then it's gonna put an exclamation. Or if you have special rules, you can just put triggers in it. So commands, like say you have people can't go in a house, and this house is like private admin house, and maybe you can put it here like trigger private house. This is like the trigger, and then it's gonna like say in quotation, you can't go into this house because it's the house of an admin point. Just an example. Then day 7. So day 7 is a good thing. It's also in Servertools phrases. That's jail. Animal tracking, you have a few more things. But day 7 was always down here. Let's see if it's still here. Huh, look at that. So it's not here. Ah, yeah, here it is. So enable true. Time to time, the server is gonna show the FPS or just /day 7 as you wish. Then it's gonna tell you how many days are left to the horde, how many zombies and animals are in the whole world, how many feral zombies, radiated dogs, vultures, screamers, etc, bears, and total mini bikes, total supply crates. Everything that is written here is gonna be well shown in the server. Let's maybe just try it out. Telnet web admin console, exactly. Wait. Ah, great. You can't see it. So that's actually my server. So you can always see that copies addition like started. Now let's put in day 7. Day 7. Ah. Is all. Come on, day 7. He doesn't want to. I would have to log in into the actual game. The thing just doesn't want to work. It's not just today. It's always. Nah. Anyway, let's get back. But this is what it really does show. Death spot. It is something that I really don't like. You know, sometimes you die in a building and you would like, well, then you spawn like 2 kilometers away from your base. Well, then you would just like, you know, could I just only be there in 1 second and take my stuff and continue? Well, then you could do that just by enabling this one. So every 2 hours, if I die, command coast is now everywhere. I'll explain it. I won't do this again. You can return to your death spot. So just /death spot and that's it. You are gonna be teleported to your death spot. Donator name coloring. If you have donators and you want that, if they maybe write something in the name, in the chat, their name is gonna be like yellow or gold. So that it's something special from the other players. You can enable this one. And they also have a prefix, done. You can also edit it like biggest super donator or yeah, rich dude. Due block, it's still like, let's say in an alpha state. It's just gonna check, are there a lot of items, let's say a pickaxe of the level, or no, let's say a motor, an engine from the car, and there are like, you have in your inventory in 1 minute like 20 of them. That's slightly suspicious, isn't it? And so this suspicion, it's gonna like look at it, the server, it's gonna see it in a way. I'm not a programmer. And then it's gonna create a log. Do it. True. No, it's true. Exactly. Always look that it's between these marks, these 2 lines. Entity cleanup, great thing. So if there are flying blocks which cause lag, before it really causes massive lag, it's gonna delete them, and so you will have less lag. If a tree is falling, that also can like make a little bit lag, then it's gonna delete them. So you won't see a tree falling, which is gonna reduce the lag. Entity underground. Oh, let's just look at that. It was interesting. I followed that a little bit. Let's see if he changed it. So block found tree, yeah. Entity underground will automatically. Yeah. So entity cleanup. That's a bit an interesting thing. It's not gonna clean up a bike, but it's gonna take it up. So let's say there is a bike underground, stuck somewhere, or just falling through the world, or also crate, which are thrown off the plane. Well, then the server is just gonna take them and put them again on the surface. Isn't this just wow? And then, yeah, bikes will automatically remove a bike if found in the world. So don't really put bikes on true, because bikes it's gonna clean up. But the entity underground is not gonna clean up everything that is underground, but it's gonna take it up. Again, that's something like in the wrong section. So always check the how to set up. So falling blocks, put this on true. I'm gonna test that actually out in another episode. No, I like the falling, these are trees. Yeah, I like that. Then this is true, obviously. I always remember, this is just a mod from a modder. It can have errors, which I'm gonna explain a bit later. We're gonna go there soon. First line, climb block. Let's see, a noob is dying in the first second, spawning somewhere else, and doesn't see his bag. I actually entity cleanup and entity underground. Also bags are gonna put up. Well, then you can just type in / first claim block, or yeah, something similar. Then you will receive again another claim block. Can be exploited. That's why I put it on false. Yeah, okay, everything can be exploited in a way. Sadly true. Flightcheck. Here we are. Let's say there's a player flying. He's cheating, obviously. So you could maybe make a kill. Oh, since when is this? Okay, yeah. Anyway, or put it on jail, or kicking, or also ban him if he flies. Sounds great. Well, so. The idea is pretty good, but yeah, the server is just not ready in a way. Because sometimes, let's say an example, you are standing on a surface. The surface is collapsing. Then the server in a way says that you flied, even though you were on a surface and fall down. That's just one example. Or maybe he went away, no wait. He was thrown off, like from a bug. Or he exited the bike when he was like falling from a little mountain or so. Or hill. Then, sometimes it can happen that the server says you flied, even though that's not true. So I now disabled everything, except I'm gonna still receive an announce. So where that happened, when that happened, and who that did. And also killing. That's in a way horrifying if you know, well, I did do nothing but still got killed. But yeah. Anyway. That's also like you have to put up the ping. So if there's a lag, the server means that you're flying. I don't know why, but it can happen. So really put this on a high figure, like I put it on 300, and then max height. So it can like fly 6 blocks, the player, and up to 7, and when it's on 7 blocks, it's gonna recognize him as cheater. Just another safe feature. If maybe there's like he's just falling a few blocks, then he's not gonna get banned or so. I still think 6 blocks. You can also put it on 9 or so if you have problems. Yeah. FPS? I've no idea actually. This is since like a few months. I tried to like understand it, but I've still no idea. You have to check that out for yourself. Well, maybe let's check this out, but okay, yeah, people can check the FPS, but that's not something new. Controls. Reportedly helps with blocks collapsing. Set target. Well, in this case, I would like to say, why not try it out? It's free. That would be like something I would say. Better trying than just thinking about it. Friend teleport. No, I really don't like these teleport things. They're just so cheaty. Anyway, friend teleport is if you put it on true. These are 4 hours. Every 4 hours, a player can teleport to another player if they are friends in 7 Days to Die. Why not? You can do that. So just teleporting between friends. Gimme, I'm not really, about that. It's just sometimes it's like a little lottery, you know. You receive maybe a few tin cans or a bottle of water or something cheap, and you can use it every hour. There are like quite a lot of servers that do that. It's like to keep the players inside the server because they get something and then they're happy about that. Because there's always, you know, you could maybe win something good, but yeah, as an admin, you know you won't. And also the command codes. That's great that he did this everything. Hardcore. Well, this is really for hardcore servers. Maximum death. So you can, if a player dies 9 times, everything's gonna be deleted, and he will have a new character. Yeah, like these permadeath games. Long Dark or so. Not real fan of it. Not really. Hatch elevator detector. Hatch elevators are great. I can't think, why does someone have something against it? Anyway, you would be stumbled and have a broken leg if you would use the hatch elevator. Yeah, kinda bad, isn't it? High ping kicker. If a player has more than 140 ping, then it's gonna get kicked. Samples needed means it's gonna check like every 5 seconds or so. And let's say 3 samples. So it's gonna check the first 5 seconds. Then he sees, oh, he has more than 150. Then again, 5 seconds later, he has still over 150. Then 5 seconds later, he has still 150. So he checked 3 times. And on the 3rd time, when he still has more than 140 ping, he's gonna get kicked. Yeah, really say, you just get kicked. It's actually a very good tool against cheaters from China, as I heard, because they have, because of the great latency, it's like 20,000 kilometers or something like that between the server and China. So yeah, it really just kicks them out because they have too much latency or lag or ping. I don't really know the difference. Nah, that's sad. Hordes. Oh yeah, that's something very cool. Also like challenging. If there are like 5 players or so, it's written how to set up, or 6 players, then there's like gonna be a lottery from the server. And every hour there's gonna be spawned a horde, you know, not the running horde, just like these hordes of zombies, like just the weak ones. Like so, a horde contains maybe so 10 to 20 zombies. Anyway, it's gonna spawn on a player. Well, why not, in a way? So at least the player has to kill something. Info ticker. Okay, that's one of the most useful things that I ever have seen. Let's just get into it. Hyping, no, not immunity. I have that because sometimes I have over 140. Yeah. The info tickers were useful for you. You really have to exploit that in a way. Because you see these messages. So I've like 20 messages and it's gonna run down from top to bottom or random. If you put it on random, then it's not gonna like put 2 times the first one. It's gonna look that it's randomized, but every message from this list got at least showed once. So this message is not going to be shown 2 times when you do it on random. First of all of them will be shown. And then again, it's like doing the same thing over and over again. Anyway, you can just put, like for example, don't build your base in a city I have in my server because I'm going to reset the zones of the cities. So I write this and like we can also hear delay between messages. So every 3 minutes there's a new message from the server. So it's gonna type day 7 for about the Horde night infos. And yeah, that's like information. Then 3 minutes later, without Steam grab for rules and infos. Again information. 3 minutes later, the daily automatic server restart is at 6 AM in our server. Useful information that people might not know you should have inside. Or let's say if you in the chat type in /commands, you see all the commands that are available for a player. Does this everyone know? Maybe someone that is new to the game? No. So you should write it into the info ticker, so then the players will write that command into the chat. And from then on, it takes its sleep. Also the ping problems. Something strange, having maybe a bug? If yes, please write it into report. I'm gonna explain that in a few, what was it? Report, here it is. Okay, still a little bit to do. So real info ticker is a great tool. Because if you have custom commands, you will need in a way to advertise these commands. And so I would put in info ticker write /commands to see all the commands available. Then people will type in /commands and see all the commands that you also put into the custom commands. Alright. My mouth. Anyway, invalid item kicker. You don't like pickaxes? You know, the steel ones? You'll say like, no, we don't want these tools. So you can put the ID of it inside the XML that's going to be created, and then everyone that has this item is going to be banned or just kicked. So iPhone true, because there's like already a list that is made. Because you know, maybe there are steel blocks. There are no steel blocks for normal players, only for admins, and that's it. If there's maybe a player around that has these blocks, then he's cheating, and so he's gonna ban them. Always important to see your admins, because if then an admin takes it, you have to be clear that he is like permitted to do it. But all that means on my side are level 2. At least 210. Jail, very good thing. It's yeah, like a jail. If there was a player that was very mean to other players, Then you can put it on jail for, let's say, well, how much you want. 2 days, a week, as you wish. And there's like this position that you have to figure out, coordinates. So that's the height on in the middle. Remember that you have to put the height of, well, there's the bottom of the world, and there is a thick layer of dirt and stone, and then the actual air comes, the surface. It's not going to show you how high you are in the book, I think, because there's just written 0 on 52 blocks. That's just the normal height, but you can't write here 0 because it's going to be the bottom of the map. You have to put here another coordinate, but that's something, and then you have to put it into the console. There is then written the actual height. I think it's like you have to put in where or so. Yeah, well, there's another command to check that out. Quote. If maybe, yeah, it's also a good thing. If there are like 6 players at least, then they can kick someone out who was mean to them. Or like there's a player that kills all the other players for no reason, is like really hunting them, then they can kick him. I rather think that's better if it's on admin side, you know, because there's again the risk to be exploited. There could be like a large group of 7 people and they could just kick everyone out. Possible. Already happened. Then kill notice. It's gonna then put a notice onto the server that which player with what killed who. So let's say A killed with the pickaxe player B. Why not? You say, why not? The lobby is like a gathering point for every player. Again, the position, look at the epsilon 52 or higher. Or just, yeah, the height. Ah, wait, no, that's something else. Lobby is just a point where you can teleport to. Let's say you have a house where there are vending machines and also traders for the players, 24/7. Then they can teleport themselves there and also return. You can also customize it. They just can like teleport them to the house but not in return. Well, that would be in a way bad, because let's say you have a motorcycle, so and also the lobby size is 25, so it's gonna randomize it inside these 25 blocks. The player's gonna be spawned. Location. So if you want to know where the coordinates, you can write into the chat /location, and then the server's gonna tell you where you are. Login notice. Let's better check that out. Now, enabling will create a file named login notice. Ah, yeah, it's that, huh? Add player's Steam ID under the ID and whatever message of your choice for message. So, there is this guy that is suspected for cheating. Well, if you then like say, let's do something against that, then you can put this ID, Steam ID, into the XML, and then behind the message, attention, this player is maybe cheating. Yeah, so you can do that. But yeah, as you can see, this message will be displayed to all players. That's a bit the problem. So maybe don't do that. There's then something for watch list. I'm gonna explain that later. Lottery, well, people can bet on something. Well, no, like join the lottery, they have to pay something inside. Like, let's say there are 5 players that play lottery. Each of them will give 20 coins inside the lottery. Then one player will win and will receive 100 coins. So all of the invested coins. You could do that. Why not? Mod D. Let's look at that in my folder. This is like the message when someone enters your server. So you can like write hello and welcome, then you have to write like that. Then it's gonna insert the player name to the server welcome friends in my example, and yeah, write whatever you want. Weird thing just to welcome players. Mute vote. So players can vote if a player has to be muted and he can't write anymore into the chat. I put it on true because there are sometimes players can be exploited, yes, but it's better than kicking. New spawn teller. Exactly, so let's just get down. That's it now. If a player joins, then all the players that join, new players to be more specific, they can then, they will be then, if it's enabled, be teleported to one position. Why not? So there's like this gathering point, this house, this special house where all the players first start and look at information that is written around. Yeah, I don't really like that because if you have a PvP server, nah, they're just gonna kill themselves. And then return, they can like type return and go back where they usually would have started. Night alert. Are you afraid of the dark? Well, then 2 hours before it's 10 o'clock, so night when zombies run, you will receive a message from the server. Night vote means is it skipping it or going to it? Always play to start a vote to skip the current night. Yeah. That's like again cheating in a way. So not a fan of that. Normal player name coloring, I don't really would recommend that, but if you enable it, every player is gonna be like written before he's a noob with specific color, like brown or so. Nah, like I don't really like that. Player list. That's actually new. You can then see the players inside. Yeah, to see all the current players online and entity ID. Why not? Player logs. So every 30 minutes, if you put it on true, it's gonna put a log of the player, each of everyone, where he is, what he has in inventory, what his stats are, so if he has a broken leg or so, and let's say this log was made on Monday. 5 days later it's going to be deleted, so you don't have like 1 million logs in your folder. Player stat check. Well, let's say there's just a player that joined, and somehow he has every stat on max. He has like the mining skill or the building tools on level 500, even though he just joined. That can't be possible. And the server sees that and it's gonna ban him. It's not kick enabled. I have this on false because you can't like have a wrong stat check. It's just not possible from the game because you're not on that required level. So yeah, away with it. Real world time. Yeah, well, each hour the server is going to display the real world, because there are some players that just forget that there's also real life. Report, a good tool. Let's put this on 50 actually. No, let's say 20. Report is like, there's a player that complains about something, like a player that did something wrong, that cheated maybe, or maybe something just collapsed, or he lost his bag. Well, then he can write like /report, then space, and then his actual message. Then it's going to create a file where then the admin will receive, so either in FileZilla, as always. Here you see it, reports exactly here. Let's put this on 30, so a month is going to be saved. And yeah, so there are then the coordinates and the message of the player and who wrote that. So let's say player A saw player B flying around, even though he's not an admin. So he's gonna write a report. No one else is gonna know about this, only the admin. The good thing is, if an admin is online, he will receive the message immediately, so he can react right then. Cool, isn't it? It's really, Servertools is really helping you to make it automatic, everything. Because if you don't have so much time, it's really doing everything on its own. Looking for cheaters, looking for hyping. There's also like player-based kicking and muting. It's just to make it easier for the admin. Because yeah, it can really be very, very stressful. Restart void. Is the server like lagging all the time and no one is doing something? Well, then you can vote minimum players. And yeah, so in 30 seconds the server is then gonna be restarted. Yeah. Set home. I don't really like that. It's like you can set home. I think that is really something that a lot of modded servers have. So you make /home, and then it's like your point where you have, if you go somewhere, no matter where, you can always type /home, and then you're gonna be right then be teleported back to your home. That's just, no, I can't do that. It's like you would be in a building, on the top of the building you have looted everything, and then there are like 2 kilometers between it and you could die, and so you just write /set home. Can be also exploited all the way, but yeah, I won't mention this more, it can always be. If you have a PvE server, then maybe it would be okay. You know, so the players don't have to go always back and forth. But in PvP it's like, you could just avoid a fight, you know. If someone, like 5 players are onto you, you just write /home and then tack, that's it. Shop. It's gonna create an XML where you can put IDs in it, and yeah, it's gonna be created like cheated in a way from the server, and players can buy it. Let's say concrete mix, or a pickaxe. There's like a pickaxe, you can set the price on it, like maybe 100 coins, a level 20 pickaxe, and then the players can buy it. Yeah, a shop actually. Special player name coloring, as you wish. There are like, you can then enable it, put the ID in it, and then it's gonna like put special in it, and also special color for special players. Let's say on your server you have a veteran that fought in a war. 1,000 possibilities. Starting items. If you would enable it, it would create an XML. Inside there you could specify a few items. So let's say every new player that joins the server receives like a meat stew, receives 3 bowls of water and a hat, well, a t-shirt. So yeah, you can really also do like he receives 10,000 diamonds as you wish. Stop server. If you then enable this one, or rather if you just type this command in at the console, then it's gonna kick everyone between these 30 seconds, and when 10 seconds are left, wait, no, 10 seconds it's gonna count down that it's gonna soon stop the server, and then for 30 seconds it's gonna kick everyone. Alright, because yeah, if it would be the other way, no one could read it because everyone would be kicked already. Stuck. I'm not a fan of that. If you're like, well, okay, you're stuck sometimes in the world, and you can write it and it's gonna teleport you on the surface. Can be also again exploited if you're underneath a tower. And you know, on the top there's like the player, the actual player, and has all his loot in there. And you can just write stuck and he would teleport himself right up. The good thing is he thought about that, or the other players complained. Anyway, so let's just look at it, and he did something against that. Cannot be used inside other players' claimed space. Set the delay between users, and so on and so on. How long player must wait. So the good thing is, as you can see, that they can't do it into another claimed area. So it would only work. Okay, yeah, then it's okay, to be honest. True. Because if you are like digging in your own claimed space or not claimed, this would be actually a very good thing if I think about that. Suicide. You want to kill yourself because you're mad? Then why not? Just write /suicide and that's it, and end your pain. Travel. That's like travel to a certain point. You will receive an XML or can set certain points, travel points. Let's say the middle of the map or a special city or so, and then players can travel there and back. Yeah. Underground check. Again, the same thing as flying, can have errors, so I only have it on not killing, just announce. Because I've seen that there are a lot of false positives underground, more than flying. So yeah, that's only announce. You notice, you know, it's just, I receive the message that maybe someone might have flown, but the good thing is I received the name. So if I receive all the time these messages from the server that he's flying or that he's underground, so no clip, then it might be suspicious in a way, because it's just mentioned so often in comparison to the other players. So I'm gonna then look closer and observe him. Voting. Well, that's like, I really don't like that. People have to go to your website, vote there that the server is good, and then they can come back and like receive a bonus for it, or just a gift. That's like paying for votes, and I'm not really for that. Wallet. It's actually the heart. You can't enable shop, bounty, lottery or everything else, or like teleporting on that costs something if you don't have a wallet. So you can name the coin. I want to have E-coin, no, E with a E-coin, exactly. Still, the problem here is it still didn't change. You only receive like zombie kill value. So if you kill a zombie, it's 10. You receive 10 coins. Player kill value 50. Death penalty 25. Which means that you receive coins by killing something, or lose by dying. So that's why I have on false. It's way better having that I showed you before. Here again, the bank. So that the system is only between real coins and E-coins. So it has the same value. Actually, why didn't I put this on true? Alright, let's go back. Watch list. Alright, that's not something for an admin. Let's say again there is this cheater, maybe cheater, supposedly. Then there's if you put it on true, then there's gonna be like an XML. You can put inside an ID and also a message. And then you can see in this watch list, like /watch list, which player is suspicious and why. And if this player joins, each admin will receive the message, hey, attention, this suspicious cheater just joined. Great, isn't it? You don't even have to search the player in the player list. The server's gonna tell you if he's there or not. Other vote, well, self-explaining, people can vote that they can change the weather, maybe from rainy to sunny, every 60 minutes, as you wish. World radius, very funny, well, not funny, but useful. Let's say your server has only 10 people and is a PvP server. The whole world is way too big for you. So you can just put here the world radius, and people can't then go over, like here in this example, normal player, from the middle 8 kilometers away. The map is 10 kilometers long, but players can then just go like 8 kilometers far away, which is actually a very good thing. That's why I'm gonna enable it. True, not enable. True, exactly. Let's put it on 7,000. So yeah, so it's more PvP, more players into an enclosed space. The other side is then people can't go out there, and let's say there are no cars anymore, no resources, everything is depleted. Well, that would be then again the problem, that you would put it away, because people will complain that they don't have the freedom to go everywhere. Ah well, that's something that you have to figure out. And yeah, except admins, they can go everywhere. They're admins. Zones. A good thing with a good idea, just not enough time to program it to perfection. Either money. Anyway, you can put a zone from anywhere to anywhere and can like specify this zone. This zone will then have like an entry and exit message. If you enter this message, it's gonna say something, the server's gonna say something to you, and if you exit it too. Or every player who joins that, who goes into that zone, he's gonna get killed. Let's say again this admin house. There's a wall around it and it's written don't go inside. If still a player tries to go inside, he's gonna get killed, or goes in jail, or gets kicked, or gets banned. Unlike the zone message thing, So let's say you have a city that you every week like delete, so the files from the city, so everything's going to be resetted, all the resources are going to be there again, and all the cars again. So you have to set it manually, sadly, but anyway, if a player goes inside that region, he's going to get a message like, attention, this area is going to be resetted, don't build anything like a base. So just handy, very, very handy. Alright, yeah, this was Servertools, was quite a lot, but also quite a lot of options. We still have a few things to do, just 2-3 things. On the bottom you see like examples for the commands, like animal tracking, bike list, entity remove, etc, etc. Something that I wanted to show you is like temp ban. So he's only get banned for 30 minutes and that's it. So not forever, but just it then does automatically unban him. Useful, useful. Or a poll. You can do polls. Useful. Just be aware that now not so many players do always vote, like in real life. But the very useful thing is admin chat color. Do you want to be like in a camouflage thing? Then you have to write that into the console. Then the color and the prefix admin is gonna go away and you seem then like a normal player. You can still do everything as you wish, but you are not anymore like seen if you write something in the chat as admin, but as a normal player. Underground admins are sometimes very useful, especially if he was never an admin before and he doesn't get mentioned anywhere else, because then it's like being the boss of a company. He doesn't, or a teacher. He doesn't get the same things as a student or an employee. That's the same difference. And also like secrets you will receive here. And sometimes there are really players that don't think that the chat is recorded. So you can really discover like cheats or so thanks to the chat log. That's useful for me. Anyway, last but not least, you have now, let's say, edited it. So Control S just to save it. Then you go back to your FileZilla. Then just make sure that it refreshed everything. And yeah, I always check the time. And then you see, yes, I edited this on this time. I saved it on this time, 11:55. Then you're gonna drag it again back to Servertools. And it's gonna be replaced with the new information that you gave, with the new enabled, well, commands, or yeah, Servertool commands. That's it. The last thing you have to do to restart it, and that's it. Yeah, I know this was heavy, quite a lot, but luckily you can skip on YouTube. Anyway, I hope I explained enough of each command, made enough examples, and then have fun being an admin. Always remember, in practice, it's always way more difficult than in theory. So exercise, try all the things out, and what you need to actually try things out is someone that is not an admin, a friend or so, that checks these commands out, like report or so, if they really work for you. Yeah, Thrust is good, control is better. Anyway, so I think this was it. Servertools. Have fun playing with it and enjoying it. You now know like how to install, also the mod and so on. So it should be okay. Anyway, have a nice day and bye.